Hi guys, just a quick one here. I want to introduce you to a brand new series we have here on Nice to Meet You podcast. It's called Be Real, and it's based off the Diary of a CEO conversation cards. These cards are from Stephen Bartlett's podcast, and they are meant to bring up honest, raw, and vulnerable conversations, and that's exactly what this podcast is all about. Today's questions that I'll be giving to the panel are: what are the failures you cherish the most, from Jacqueline Gold, and are you happy, from Patrice Evra. There was also a blank card left in the conversation card pack where Stephen lets you write your own question down as well. So I'm going to surprise today's panel with my question. If you enjoyed today's episode, you subscribe on YouTube, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, like the videos, and stay tuned for a lot more. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Nice to Meet You podcast, episode 17, with the boys, Stevie and Shay. So welcome back. It's good to be back. And we want to review Donkey's fight. The last guest we had on, me and Shay interviewed Donkey and Jimmy. And the fights came and gone, and Donkey actually won.
Donkey won?
Second round. Second round, and Strato got beat. I don't know what round was that.
Was it the second or third?
Was it same? Aye. So Donkey predicted a draw. If you haven't watched last week's episode, definitely go click back and watch it. It was amazing. And so Donkey predicted that Strato and Brian Ward would draw because he said that Brian Ward was quite powerful. You probably know Brian Ward from Ballymena. Aye. He's like, I think he is a professional boxer. Semi-professional.
Amateur, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was powerful, but Donkey said Strato was quick. And Strato, he texted me and all, and he was saying that he just needs to bring back his youth days. Like, he used to go out partying and fighting fucking every night. So he had a chance because he is a fighter. Strato was just like a street fighter kind of guy, but he got beat. I actually seen the highlights of that one, and he did get hit hard. Like I wouldn't. He got slapped around the. Yeah, he did. Like Brian Ward did connect with him.
Oh, you're
quite
talking
a bit.
about this fight? Sorry, I thought it was a fight when he was younger.
No.
Oh no, he got sparked. Like, he got kaput.
Was it a TKO or like?
It was lights out, all out.
Was it?
You know when Paddy McGuinness's show?
Take me out.
Lights out, all out. That was bang out. See you later. Good luck.
No, it was mad. And Donkey's fight, you watched it. I watched the highlights, but
Donkey's fight just woke up.
People were saying Mo. I seen the first round. Mo actually came out strong.
100%.
He did, didn't he?
Mo won the first round. 100%.
If he kept that up,
I was shocked.
I was shocked
about how he came out. I was like, oh, fat boy can punch, no. Mo. I was like, fat boy can punch, you know.
He done well. See if he kept that up, if he just kept pushing towards Donkey, and like putting it on him, you know, and
but he couldn't. It was puff.
It couldn't. It was. That one round was him spent, fitness wise.
Yeah. I only seen it on my mate's Snapchat.
Oh, is that how you said it?
I didn't watch the fight. I just watched it on my mate's Snapchat.
Free to Snapchat.
But it was like watching a concert. You know, somebody has the concert up and it's like 100 Snapchats.
You're like, I've watched the
back.
full thing now. Thanks, mate.
But no, it was a couple of heavy hitters.
I
wasn't expecting that. You were sort of expecting to be dossing about, but there's that much social media and that around it. They do have to perform.
No, they do.
You know what I mean?
And there was a lot of hype in the fight, and they did raise a lot of money for the two charities, which was good. I can't remember the exact total, but it was, it was like 15 grand or more. That was good. Yeah, so it was good that way. But
would you ever do one?
I've done one, and that's me, mate. I had fundraising.
I remember yours coming out
with
the Mew card and all that.
Yeah,
right. The golden Mew. Would you do one?
I'd do one, but mine's will be a poo card.
Right.
You know what I was shocked about?
There's jokes there, but we'll not go there.
I did not like this at all. 1 minute rounds for Donkey Mo. That was
shite.
That's awful.
Yeah, and we should. Morris would have been. Mo would have been sparked in round one.
I know. But that's the point of a fight. It's you need 2 minutes because that's whenever that comes into play. Fitness. Yeah. But like, who can dig deep?
I rang Mo the next day and he says, that headgear was choking me. I was like, sure, you've trained with it for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. He says, no, I've never wore one before. I says, what? Why?
I didn't even spar with it.
He didn't spar with it. He says, it was down over my chin and I was getting choked. He says, I couldn't see. It was dripping down over.
That's poor.
I was like,
especially a lot of white collars.
He says, I didn't know until I stepped into the ring that they were putting a helmet on me. I was like, Mo.
You knew you were getting it.
You knew you were getting it.
On the headgear. Well, whenever I trained for my fight, my trainer Bert was really good. Like he made us train with gum shield in, even like seeing now we were just doing weights and like bike and all, gum shield in so we get used to breathing with it in our mouth, and then headgear on as well so we get used to just the feel of it.
Who were you sparring with?
His son Daniel and Rowan. We were at like a wee jiu-jitsu hall, so there was one or two guys that done a white collar before as well, and they would have jumped in as well and just like sort of took turns. But I fucking hated sparring, so I was glad whenever it was all over. Like, but. And then another thing on that fight as well before we move on, Donkey,
your fight or Donkey's fight?
Donkey's fight. Donkey proposed to the girlfriend straight up.
Shut up.
Did you not see it?
No, I didn't
No,
see that,
he won his fight and then he called her up and.
Just say something.
He's all quiet about it, was he?
No, well, he grabbed the bike and I think he just thanked everyone and he's like, "Oh, my girlfriend come up," and then she came up and then he was like, "Oh, I wanted to do this," and then just got down on one knee and pop the question.
Donkey, you're a soft herd.
So he won his fight and he thought, "This is my moment. I need to wife her up."
Fair play.
Yeah.
On the stage too.
On the stage,
millions and millions of people
in front of everyone there. Well, 500 people live, and then God knows how many on the live stream as well. There was only 500 tickets sold. So.
No, sorry, you mean.
Yeah. So I mean in person, and then whatever the pay-per-view numbers was, I don't think we have them. So
a lot of people.
it would have been
Where was it at?
some hotel between Coleraine and
Macaraboy
Macroboy.
and Port Rush.
Port Rush.
So
Used to be called a nightclub. What was it called?
was it a nightclub?
Used to be called a nightclub years ago.
What's that?
Don't even know.
Macroboy House.
Macaraboy House.
Can't remember what it was. There used to be a nightclub. But
Don't even know, lads. But no, that's that fight. And good luck to Donkey. Hopefully he gets in the ring again. We'll see. But we have recently bought.
sunbed me. One sunbed and peeling like
This man's focusing on his tan here.
We went away to Romania. It was 24 degrees in Romania, man.
Ah, that's right.
It was class.
This man came home from Romania, went on a Romanian holiday, came home and Top G was freed.
That's it.
So the boys had something to do that one. I'm pretty sure. Like
we had Ryan Brewster with us. Like, you know what Brewster's like. Anything he touches just turns to gold.
I know. And
like,
you were at the Parliament building or an old Parliament building.
Brewster was. We were hungover. Like,
Oh, we did not go.
No, we didn't go. We went out that night and didn't go home till like 6 a.m.
So it was, he's the one that set him free.
All I know is he came home the next day and Top G was out. So
That's what you
fair
want.
dues to Ryan Brewster, mate.
100%. But got some Diary of a CEO conversation cards, which is something we're going to do pretty much every episode now. Definitely on the last episode, and we're going to bring a few along for the guests that come on as well.
And how'd you get these, or how'd you go about them? I've
So-
seen them; they're pretty big.
They're
a
pretty
lot of
cool.
people are
Like,
talking about
so
them.
you obviously know Stephen Bartlett does Diary of a CEO podcast.
I love Stephen Bartlett.
Big man's a fan, and at the end of every podcast, he gets a guest to ask a question, and then that links to the next guest, and that's sort of how all his episodes link up together. But he's released all them questions into like a 51 deck of cards, and it's all about being vulnerable, because vulnerability is the door to connection, and there's not enough connection these days. A lot of people lonely, a lot of people don't even know how to converse with people. So these cards are meant to be for any setting. But we're going to use it on a podcast because the questions are deep and it's going to get to show a bit about us as well and how we sort of view life and our perspective. So I've got a few of the questions with me today, and so we'll go through a few of the cards.
Did you bring
Should
your
be fun.
tissues?
I've got a running nose tonight.
But the cards are great. Like they are, like you've seen them there. Like it's a nice wee deck of
There's
cards.
a few heavy hitters in there.
but
Like,
some of them are
it's not
big.
the sort of thing you crack out when you're drinking, is it? Like, it's more
Cards of Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity, yeah.
So the first one I'm going to pull out is one from Patrice Evra, Man United, ex-footballer.
Yes. Not a fan, like I'm a Liverpool man. So.
I'm an Arsenal man as well, but he's
Not a
he's
fan.
good
I
on.
don't like football.
So this card from
Disappointing.
Patrice Evra.
Not that I don't like football. Sorry, I'm gonna get slagged for that.
I was going to say,
I like football, but it's just not.
you don't support anybody?
Not a fan. I'm just not.
Yeah,
fan,
not a
fan.
big fan.
Hardcore. I'm not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
from Northern Ireland presenter.
None of us are.
Flex, shout out,
Very, very
shout out
few of
there.
us
Aye. So just feel free, any of us, to answer it and just jump in with whatever you want. But this question was left by Evra. Are you happy?
Straight over to the man first.
Very. I'm very happy. Not currently at the minute. I feel like a dose of dung. Like, I really
Choked
do.
up with hay
Tell us
fever.
why, the people don't know why.
So it is currently 18th of April, which means the sun come out, which means pollen has rose, and I feel like ass. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy. I don't know. Probably, I actually was thinking about that on the way down the road. One of the reasons I'm very happy at the minute is probably because I took a lot on board, and I know I always give him a lot of slag, and he's a good guy, but like Tom Smith, I always think, I don't,
Did you meet him?
I haven't met Tom yet, no.
Not
I'd
yet.
love
He's,
to meet
he's
him.
coming on. He's coming on in 10 more
I've seen him
episodes.
about Belfast, but I've never.
I'd love to
never
meet
met
him. I love his Lambo. I hope he drives his Lambo. Hope he gives
will.
me a run on this Lambo.
You two are going to be here when he's here,
I'll
so
be foaming over that one. Like,
we're going to give him a card as well
yeah.
when he's on, so we're going to get him the answer one. But yeah, you've took a lot on then.
Took a lot on from him. Not a lot, but just his one main point of the Tom, the one thing people know Tom for, his mantra. And I wake up every morning and I go to work, and it might be in the drive into work, I might be sitting in work, I might be at lunchtime, but I always think about the things in my head that make me happy. And if I have time, I'll write them down. Do not wake up at flipping 4 o'clock in the morning like him and write them down. For the whole month of January, I woke up at 5 o'clock. I did an ice bath every morning, which was brilliant.
Did you?
Every morning, it was savage. It was so good at home. But I've slipped out of that. But I did wake up the other morning at 5 and went for a run, and then the ice bath. Best way to kickstart your day, like that's savage.
Big culture thing there,
Yeah.
the ice bath. Like,
It's brilliant. It really is good. But like, yeah, he's definitely one of the reasons why I'm so happy at the minute, because picking little tiny things out of your day that you're happy with, like walking down to a shop or driving down to the shop, you actually got to drive your car. You actually got to drive your car down to the shop. You have a car. You got to spend money in a shop. You had the money spare to buy £9 worth of crap, sandwich and a bottle of BPM. You know what I mean? Driving down the road here, I'm very thankful for you guys in my life. You know, happy to be able to do this. You know, and then Stephen Bartlett. Actually, I read his book in the week that I was in Tenerife. I told you that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Game-changing book. I absolutely
called?
happy sexy millionaire. Just what I'm gonna be. I'm the happy sexy. I'm just.
halfway there.
I'm nearly. I'm just halfway.
He's sexy. I'm not millionaire yet.
Drives a Nardo Grey. He would but Stephen, definitely one of the main reasons why I've been very happy in the past few months. I've been happy for longer than a few months, you know, but progressively making myself and what's the word, kind of dwelling in your life, kind of thinking about it and going, Jake, oh, look at how lucky I am, like, you know, just yeah, Stephen and Tom Smith, two men.
And it's them wee things that are making you happy. It's not necessarily the career path you've chosen or a hobby that you had for a long time, which was cycling.
Yeah.
Which you loved, and I know that you loved it.
I didn't know this.
So it's more, you're saying it's not even them things. It's like
I would
just them
say-
wee things that you get to do every single day.
No, I would say a lot of big things obviously help that, you know, being able to, and I think I've said it nearly every episode now, but being actually physically able to go into work with your dad in the morning and working beside him and building a brand and building a business and then starting new businesses out of that business and constantly thinking about ways to make money, you know, I love that. It's kind of, I would love to sometime down the line label myself as an entrepreneur, but relax at the meantime, you know. Probably get a lot of stick for that, you know, but there's a lot of people out there, and I think this generation there's a lot more young people that are wanting to heading down that route. Like, I
Sort
think
of cool to be an
TikTok's,
entrepreneur at the minute, isn't it?
But that's the hard
It's
part as well,
nearly over. Sometimes could be overused, maybe abused a wee bit. That
As
saying,
he
no?
even says, there's a bit of a stigma with that. You know, you're going to get stick for saying you're an entrepreneur. Like, I mean, because what you're trying, you're starting businesses, you're sacrificing stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so.
yeah, but I think that's more. I think that's a lot Northern Ireland and UK.
Very much so.
I don't really know. Obviously, I'm not from America, but like, if you put the likes of Tom Smith, who's a multi-millionaire, or Stephen Bartlett. No, Stephen Bartlett is American, isn't he? No, he is England, but he went to New York.
Yeah.
If you put the likes of Tom Smith, who's a multi-millionaire, into the middle of America, he's a nobody. You know, you put him in Hollywood, which is where he lives. He's Jacobs, there's Tom Smith and his Lambo. I don't mean that rudely, but there's always people better than you. you know. And he's definitely I like that about Northern Ireland, that you can look to Tom and go like, that's achievable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's achievable. If you were to go to flipping Steve Jobs, like, that's not achievable. Well, it is if you were talking to Kieran Bartlett.
Shout out.
We need him on the podcast.
Aye. We'll get him on. You can chat to him, sure.
But like, if for Steve Bartlett, like, if you could achieve that guy.
Yeah.
But like even Steve is like completely out of where I think my league is personally, simply because he's a nationwide like a business, you know.
Yeah.
But you're seeing him where he's at there now.
Aye.
He's the Goliath. He's at
Yeah.
the top. Like, he is the social media mogul at a time where social media is at its peak.
Yeah.
Like, he was once where you're sitting at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
once where Tom Smith's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a
It's-
ladder,
But
like,
Tom
Yeah,
Smith's
there's just-
relatable because it's Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
And
that's where it's
next
good.
door.
aye.
You know,
And you
yeah.
feel like, because maybe at one point in time you didn't believe anybody in Northern Ireland could ever achieve that.
Yeah.
And then once the mold's broke, you're like, flip, you actually can do something.
Yeah.
If you actually maybe tried it.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
I like, work hard and you will. That's the bit that I've always actually thought about doing day-to-day business. Work hard and you will achieve, but sometimes it won't happen. You need a little bit of luck in there.
Yeah.
We cleaned a guy's house in Hollywood. I'll not mention his name, but lovely fella, has owned 3 companies doing parts for oil rigs.
Yeah.
Sold his first company for like 76 million. Sold it, but started up a new company, sold it for 50 million, and now he's got another company he's built up over the last lot of years, and he's selling it for north of 20 million. You know,
Doesn't need to do it anymore. He's just doing it for the fun.
just doing it for the crack.
Yeah.
You know. But when I was standing in his yard, he said to me, which was so humble of him, he
Yeah.
turned around to me and says, "Listen, you see all this? You need a wee pinch of luck with that too. Like, there is people around me that have worked
Yeah.
twice as hard as me and still not achieve what I've achieved.
Yeah.
You know, that's humble.
That
That's
is
humble.
just about to say that timing is everything. Even with my profession that I'm doing at the minute with like just a TikTok, and you mentioned like the Northern Ireland thing, which I'm so humbled and thankful to do every single day, and that adds to my happiness, which I'm going to get onto now. But Northern Ireland had said to me once they had used me for the first time and reached out to me last August that they had been looking for someone to fill a presenter role for a while now, alongside Bernadette, but the right person hadn't just come around yet, and
And you'd never know that. Like, it's
and
not,
I didn't.
it's not
I didn't
common knowledge
start.
to anybody.
Like, I didn't start even knowing that, and I didn't start my TikTok actually thinking, "Oh, I'm trying to achieve Northern Ireland presenter status." I just did it because I loved it and I wanted to do it, and then it just happened to be the right
Just sort of
time.
fell into the mold.
I just was sort of breaking through at this point, and they had just caught it at the right time, and they just went, "This is a match."
Did they approach you?
They approached me.
Happy days.
And it was just a match in heaven, like, but just all timing. Imagine last March when I started, I went, "I'm not ready yet. I'll start next March." I wouldn't have got this luck. Like, that boat would have
I'm
sailed.
older than you guys, like, and I've done that so many times.
Do you know
in
what I
my
mean?
life, and that's why I'm literally just grabbing the bull by the horns.
Yeah,
and doing-
and that's why there's
doing
no
different
time
things.
like right now.
Donkey would have got that role.
Here, he probably could have, and he would have nailed it too. Like, it'd have been great.
Probably would have.
But on to
winkle pickers on him and all. Like.
But that Northern Ireland thing does add to my happiness, sort of what you're saying, like them big things do add to it. But for me, being happy, I think it's just a state of mind for me. I think there is them big things in your life like career and family and health that make you happy. But I think you're either just generally a happy person or you're not. Sometimes.
That's what I was going to say.
And like sometimes you just wake up happy just because you're here.
Yeah.
And there's things that contribute to that you maybe don't think about, like the wee things like your health, and you just wake up and you're happy. But I think it's just a state of mind, and choosing to be happy. Like, you just have to wake up and go,
Yeah,
I'm going to be
100%.
happy today.
Because it is a choice.
Yeah.
It is a choice. Even if you had the worst day, you have to choose.
Yep.
Right, this isn't going to wreck my night. I'm gonna focus and do it right here.
That's why I think so. Are you happy? For me, I would say yeah. I do try my best to wake up every day and choose to be happy. Are you happy? I would say yes. I think I do try to be happy, not just do things that make you happy. I think that's the difference. That's where I'm trying to get my point at. It's not, don't do things to be happy. Don't chase that career that you think will make you happy. Chances are it probably won't, and it might add to it a little bit. But choose to be happy.
Yeah.
Choose to be it, not do it.
That's what Steve says in his book as well.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, he actually
Class.
says somewhere along the lines of, if you aren't happy with money, you're not going to be happy with money. If you aren't happy without money, you're not going to be happy with money. You know, like he said, one of his biggest achievement. Well, I don't know if along the words of, when he was young and broke, he went into a pizza shop and went under the seats and put his hand down the back when he was scavenging off people's plates and found £1. Went, check, there's £1. And he went around the whole restaurant and went under all the seats and found it. I think he was broke.
Has said he's been.
Yeah, he was broke. And he got like 13, I think it was £13.57p if I remind right. And he said that was the happiest he'd been when his £200 million social media business sold for 200 million. He says that wasn't even like, he phoned his mate and was like, "Do you feel this? Are you happy?" Like,
Yeah.
just completely numb. And he didn't even say it was starstruck. He just says it was just normal because he had got himself up the ladder that high. They got to a place where
just numbers,
he'd
isn't it?
sold it for 200 million. His mate down the road's got 300 million. He's a bitch. You know what I mean? He's a nobody. You know, when you like levels.
There is, and that's tough. That's why your happiness can't be wrapped up in things like that in your career, because as we've just mentioned with like Tom and Stephen, there's always someone better. There's always someone better looking. There's always someone with better money, better business idea.
Yeah.
So, Stevie, are you happy?
Funny you say it, I'm not, guys. I'm really not. Sitting here amongst you two happy fuckers. Like.
Feel free to be honest. Like,
No, mate. I think it boils down to a lot of, yes, I am happy. I'm a happy person. I've always been a happy person. I think anybody who knows me knows I've sort of acted the lad for a lot longer than I should have, maybe. But I would say I'm at a point in my life where I'm not content, which is maybe, it's not unhappiness, but I'm not content with where I'm at.
Which is okay.
yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Well, I've sort of like, you say, you've started up your own business. You know, you're on your journey, and you're, in my eyes, you're a bit more established, if you know what I mean. I worked for a company for a long time, and I gave everything to the company, and the company's thriving. But then after a while, I sort of stepped back and looked and thought, I'm maybe not thriving here as much. Do you know what I mean? So I was happy the whole way through that, and it was some of the best times in my life, and definitely one of the best jobs in my life. Like, you know, but I'm very social. I'm a social butterfly. You know yourself, man.
Yes, no.
But
Man hosted weddings, and he was like proper
yeah,
go at it.
proper
like,
G. We'll call me proper
goods,
G, not top G.
This is why he's here. He's good chat.
Yeah, no, I'd done a bit of MCing and that there for a few, for the Rabbit and for Galgorm and that there, and loved it. But was happy.
Didn't bring you happiness though.
It did. It brought me happiness, but it didn't bring me a lot of wealth. If you know what I mean. You can be happy in what you're doing every day and stay a brokey, as us guys like to talk about. You know what I mean? But I've kind of ventured off on my own little journey now and focused on something a bit more stable and something that can produce more income. And I don't want it all to be focused around income. Like, I know a lot of what we talk about is income, and like nowadays that's the way society is. You're focused on that, but majority of people's happiness comes from money nowadays, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But
That's what I don't like about people, rich people that say, "Oh, money doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter." Tell that to the mum that's sitting in her council estate house.
Yeah.
That is going, "I have got £24.35p to do me to next dole day."
Yeah.
You know, if you give that wee woman a grand, Jake or so, that would make her day a fair lot better.
Yeah. It can take.
probably last her
You know?
6 months.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Would maybe last you the likes of a month. Do you know what I mean?
It can definitely solve a lot of problems.
it would for a lot of people, but then again,
But then
hand-
the
hand
ultimate question,
hand a
happiness
homeless
might
person,
not.
hand a homeless person a grand. You know, 9 out of 10 of them's going to have it spent before the night's out. You know, I don't mean that in a rude way again, but like,
Why do you think then you find, and Gary V's big on this one as well, you find millionaires very unhappy?
probably because they've climbed the ladder that much that they're in a position
And they've
where
got all the money to buy any problem out.
if they've got that big that they've realised, oh my goodness, I've got several million in the bank and I haven't got a friend. I focus that much on work that I've got no friends. I've got people around me that I would call my friend, but if I was crying in my bed at night, who would I call? Oh, checkers have nobody.
I think to get to that level, you kind of do need to alienate yourself a bit. You need to separate yourself. Like there's a guy, it was actually in Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO, Simon Sinek. Did you ever hear of him?
Yep, I think one of his cards is
And
actually
he was
too.
talking about, I think they discussed this a lot. Like he said he's never been as lonely. And no matter how many people you have around you, no matter how many tens of millions you have in the bank, who can you call and be like, I know I'm feeling sad here, like I'm feeling down, and it's just, you know, it's hard, and like that's a multi-millionaire talking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Call me Lambo. Hello, Lambo.
But that does go
Do
to
you
show
want to
you
go a drive, darling?
Just driving around Ballymena in your Lambo, just feeling good about yourself, like Uber driving and all, like Lambo.
We'll move on to another question. This was left by Jacqueline Gold.
And who's she again?
This is a girl from Ann Summers.
Yes, that's right. You know her?
I know her very well.
She was a donkey's fight, wasn't she?
So CEO of Ann Summers, Jacqueline Gold, left this question, and just feel free to jump in and answer what you want. But what are the failures you cherish the most?
Failures you cherish the most. Failure builds you though, man. You learn more from your failures than you do from your wins. As you say, you can get lucky very, very easy. You can get the timing and the luck right, but like you learn more when you're in the gutters after you give everything something your all and it's backfired on you and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
But I would say yes to that, but like you said earlier, you didn't know what I used to do. I used to be a Irish cyclist. I personally found that most of my happiness and most of what I found out about myself was actually in my wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot, like, don't get me wrong, there was situations where I lost. There was a 3-day race and I was leading right up until the last day, and I lost the last stage and I lost the whole thing. That meant I lost the whole thing, and I got off the bike and I threw the bike up against a fence and I was raging.
72 hours cycling.
No, not 3 days straight. You flipping no.
That's what I thought you meant.
No, like 3.
David Goggins stuff. I'm sitting beside Millie.
like a stage race. Day 1, 2 hours. Day 2, 2 hours. Day 3, an hour and a half, something like that.
Cycling.
You know, I definitely found that most of my happiness and most of what I actually learned about myself was actually in my wins. You know, I stopped cycling for a period of months there, and I'm starting to get back into it now to train for summer, hopefully. Don't know how that's going to go, but we'll soon see. But I definitely found that I was most happiest and learned the most when I was winning.
Is there a particular failure though that you cherish the most, in the sense that that's one I learned a really good lesson in? Is there a particular failure that you went, I actually learned a lot, I took a lot from that one? Yeah, go for it. I would say for me, I probably would have to say the first day I tried to do my TikTok interviews, because that led obviously to a lot.
Yeah.
But going up to Belfast on a Saturday afternoon with my brand new mic, my phone, changed my phone so I had a better camera, went up,
And then loads of people said,
and everybody said no. Every single person. And the reason it was a failure is obviously everyone said no, but I was like, I knew I was good at connecting with people, and I thought, I was like, I can talk to anyone, like, it was grand. And I went up there and I tried, and like literally no one wanted to talk to me.
Yeah, and that is your forte. Like,
and that's my thing. That's the one thing I think I'm
you could
good at.
actually start a conversation with that hairdryer.
Yeah. Aye, exactly.
You could, like,
so the one thing I felt in my life, right, this might be the calling God has put inside me, and to get denied 6, 7, 8 times,
that's tight,
back to back, and like no one actually even wanted to even stop. I was like, wow, I'm actually probably not going to be as good at this as I think I am. And I remember getting home on the train that night and like proper deflated. I was like, this is awful. Like, and there's a reason why I didn't tell anybody about it. Like, I didn't tell anyone that I was even trying to start making content. I just kind of went out on my own and did it. And Yeah, go for it.
Stevie's up and about tonight, folks, ruining the podcast.
Sorry, I had to go toilet there.
You're all good. But yeah, doing getting denied and that being the thing I liked
Yeah,
and thought it was good. I was like, that's going to be tough. And I remember getting the train home and just thought, right, I need to post something. I felt so frustrated inside myself. I just started feeling as I can't settle tonight. Like I need to do something.
yeah,
And I just posted a picture on Instagram. I was like, I need to post something on social media. This is.
Did
how
you
I
get
need-
chatting to nobody?
Nobody, mate.
Not one single person.
When
Not
was
one
this?
person. Whenever
Do
I
you
first
think-
started my TikToks.
Do you think you got more deflated with the people that you were asking, that you were just like, frig that? Or was it just like the end of the night and there was nobody about?
It was a quieter day in Belfast compared to maybe like another day, but it was a Saturday afternoon, so it's the one time you'd think there would be people out about shopping and stuff. And it was maybe getting close to that time when they were shutting and like maybe the city was dying down a bit for the clubs to open up and people go out. But there was definitely enough in it that you could have got something. Like, 'cause I do the public stuff nowadays in Belfast anytime, any day now, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But that day in particular, maybe I was slightly nervous about it as well because it's the first time doing it.
Plan it too much.
Maybe, but it was a complete failure because literally.
Crazy that, but you could
one
have just
thing-
threw the head up and said, nah, frig that.
Yeah.
Frig that, I'm way back to
But I
start.
had to give it one more go because I believe that just because you get a bad experience doesn't mean they're all bad. I mean, just because everybody said no doesn't mean they're all going to say no. Like, somebody has to say yes.
Bad relationship.
Exactly. Not all
Doesn't
relationships
mean
are
you're ever
bad.
gonna be in a relationship
Yeah.
again.
You get food poisoning from a restaurant. Doesn't mean every restaurant is horrible. Like, there's great restaurants out there. So I need to try again. And then that's whenever I went again, uploaded my first video. And it went well, and here we are.
The rest
It's
is
crazy, isn't it?
I probably cherish that one the most because it led to all this. And it was a good lesson. It just sort of humbled me maybe and just thought, right, maybe God saying to me, Stefan, you're good, but you're not that good. Like, you need a bit.
You need
Do you
a,
think, were you feared before it? Do you think was that like a bit of overcoming fear?
Maybe that day was just overcoming fear, overcoming rejection, maybe. Because there's always going to be rejections.
yeah.
Even to this day, there's plenty. So maybe that was the best thing that could happen to me, just starting with a load of them.
A big L.
A big L, and then it's like,
I
well,
don't, stop laughing, you.
It's just the way
no matter what happened after that,
Go,
was gonna
go
be a
back to
W
that
then.
toilet.
a massive
So-
L. Just a massive L.
Massive L, but I cherish it because it's led to great things. So.
Yeah, and now you can look back on it and go, yeah, I could get blanked by 8 people in Belfast.
Yeah.
But here's who saying the ninth won't say, yep.
Exactly, and it's always, I mean, it's like, even if I'm out and about doing work now, doing what I do, I know that if I get 8 no's, like, I'm like, oh, the yes is coming.
Yeah.
I know I've been
It
this.
could be a million views.
Yeah, I like that.
and
It could be your one.
I know what's coming now, like,
I like
because
that.
I've been
That's
there,
juicy.
so
That's
yeah,
juicy.
that's what I cherish.
That's juicy. That's juicy content. That's juicy content. That's good.
But
Ask the question again.
what are the failures you cherish the most? Is there one in particular for you, Stevie, that you look back on, you went, probably didn't do as well there?
I don't cherish it, but it's kind of a weird one. I didn't become a pro cyclist. I tried so hard. A lot of bad luck in the middle of it. Sickness and underlying stuff and just madness. I'm not saying that, I'm not putting that out there to say that I've got an excuse for not becoming a pro, but it led to me being able to walk into work every morning with my dad. You know, very few people get to experience that.
Exactly.
You know, but on the flip coin of that, if I had become a pro, it would have been Jake or so. There gotta be some buzz, you know. But then at the end of the day, I wouldn't have the life experiences that I've had at the minute. Sorry, I would have had more in terms of cycling, but less in terms of friends and family and this. I have professional friends. One of them, Archie Ryan, who currently is sitting in Dublin, but has been out in it's just situated in Spain all the time, or wherever he's at, Italy, or he's just there full time. You know, he's 20, he's 22. He gets to see us like twice a year max.
Yeah.
You know, so
So
definitely
maybe that then.
that's probably. I'm not. What is it? What's the last word that you cherish?
You would cherish it.
I don't cherish it. I definitely don't cherish it, but it's opened up a lot of opportunities. You know. But yeah.
What about you, Stevie? Any?
Read it to me again.
That's a hard one.
It's a tough.
That's
It's
deep.
like these cards are tough. Like, so if you're watching and listening, definitely
They're emotionally based. I think
They are.
Stephen said
they are. They're supposed to provoke
emotion.
thoughts and emotions in you to
Yeah.
to share, so that people listen and that you actually connect with people. So for the listeners listening, definitely drop your comments for your answers as well, because we want to. This is why we share it. Right? We're being vulnerable sitting here, talking to each
100%.
other, so it's always good to.
It's not
do
easy
that, 'cause it
sitting with the
connects,
lads,
but
bringing up your failures like
I
in your
know,
L's, and your massive L's.
Big knees.
Is there a failure in
My
particular
knobbly knees.
for you?
Failure for me, I can't really think much on it, to be honest, man. I don't want to say I don't fail a lot. Everybody fails. I would say maybe failed relationships. As you know, I keep saying it, I'm a good bit older than you guys, and probably been through some more, say, deeper relationships, like longer relationships and stuff like that there, but maybe wish I'd done things a bit differently. But then if I had done them differently, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I'd be comfortable, you know, I'd be out of shape. Like, not that I'm fantastically in shape at the minute, but summer body painting and all that. But I would say for me it would be relationships and maybe the odd job rejection. You know, you think you're destined for a job and you give it your all and then you don't get it, and then
It's a good one.
yeah, and then you're on a completely different path, kind of like yourself, as you're saying there. You know, you're on a complete different path and you cherish it because you're getting more value from it. You're getting more. Like, even recently with my recent job change, like I've moved up to Belfast. I'm meeting new people. I'm living with 4 very good lads. You know what I mean? Just don't edit that bit out and don't tell them. But like I'm starting to get round holidays, which I never had. I'm starting to, you know, learn more about passive income and stuff like that. Like I feel like my life's in a very good place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's a great answer for that one. Job rejections. I think a lot of people can relate, and even I can relate to that, because me getting jobs whenever I was slightly younger than I am now, and you do feel like I remember thinking, oh, I'll be good at sales, I can chat away, and like getting rejected from pretty much every sales job because I had no experience.
Yeah.
It's something I couldn't help.
it's one of the
But
toughest to break
and then-
into as well.
And then I was like, how am I ever supposed to be a good salesman whenever nobody would give you a chance? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people will relate to that, because I found myself working in Starbucks, which was a job I thought I would never have been in, and ended up loving it so much that to this day it's probably been my favourite job ever.
Plus, you met your future wife.
And I met my girlfriend there.
He
met,
steered out of that one, didn't he?
met a lot of good friends from there,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the friends I've worked with,
What
and
me
even
a friend? What me a friend?
all the ones I worked with, and even just customers that came in, like never would have met any of them if it wasn't for getting rejected at a sales role. So I think a lot of people will relate to that one,
Yeah,
because
that's
it does
actually-
dishearten you, like.
That's mad, because my girlfriend now. Now, that was weird, wasn't it? My girlfriend.
Ah, yeah, you're at me.
6 o'clock just before you come on the pod.
My girlfriend turned around to me and said, when we started going out, that, oh, are you friends with that boy Stefan? I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, she says to me, oh, my granny loves him.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
me sitting there in the corner like,
Hitting the older gen.
The grannies were a fan.
Stefan
I'm going to
loves-
say her name, but I think I'm going to get it wrong. It's not Anne, is it?
I don't know, man. I don't even know it myself. Eh?
I know who it is. Sally. It's Sally.
Granny Sally, and Granny
Sally.
Annie. Do you know Granny Annie?
Yep.
Granny Annie's good crack.
Yes.
Granny Sally's good crack too, but she's not my granny. I don't know why I call them grannies, but anyway. But yeah, that's weird that you
Yes.
you meet people, you meet 70, 80-year-old women and you connect with them in a way that they turn around to their granddaughter and say, oh, I love that young boy who works in Starbucks, you know. Like that's...
But the older generation seem to have a bit more intuition for that as well. Like,
Yeah,
tell
they
you
sort
who
of
to
look
stay
out for it.
They tell you who to stay away from when you're growing up
Yeah.
and stuff, and you're like, that's my best mate.
And all you do is you smile at them and keep the scone in the oven an extra few minutes, and they're loving life. It's nice and hot for them. You
Man's
get their
giving
coffee.
away the tricks here, eh? Free scones, that's how he's getting content.
Last question, boys. So we'll end on this, and it's actually you get a blank card with the conversation card pack. That
Only
Steve
one?
gives you. So you get one blank card out of the conversation card pack, and it's for you to write your own question on. This is my question. What do you want to be known for? I'll start because I've only dropped that one on you.
Juicy, isn't it? That's juicy.
Yeah. I'll start because I just dropped it on you and I've had a wee bit of time to think. So for me, I would love to be known for sort of just what we were talking about there. Well, Shay brought up with the granny from Starbucks. Just that magnetic person that just loves people. I'm like, if I could go my whole life and pass away and everyone was like, oh, I met him, and maybe my life went a different direction just because I've spoke to him once, or I heard a podcast here, seen a wee clip of him there, and what he said, or even just how he treated me. Just he actually took notice. He didn't actually walk by and just wave whenever I wanted to say something to him or give something to him. He actually looked me in the eye, said hello, what's your name?
Took the time to interact.
Took the time, and yeah, I think just that magnetic feeling. You know when you just meet someone, you're like, oh my god, like that was amazing.
You leave happy, like you leave
like,
content.
That's the whole reason why it's called
Fulfilled,
Nice to Meet You, because it's the feeling I want to give people when they listen to this is like they walk away with the earphones in and go flip, like that was just the best conversation ever. Or that was just a great interaction. So I think that I would love to be known for that. And something that actually like definitely hammered at home was I'm an Arsenal fan, and I know we're going for the league title, right? But there was a viral video went about just today. Actually, I was listening to TalkSport, and they had a mascot, a wee female mascot was there at the West Ham game on Sunday, and she was waiting outside their changing room before they went in to get changed for a match. So it's a big match day. Obviously, we're in a title run here, so the players are super focused on match days. Like they're professional athletes, but they walked by this girl and she wanted a shirt signed.
And did none
and
of them
they
notice her?
all of them signed it.
Right.
All of them signed it, which was great. The club posted the video, but what was not good about it was they just signed it. Every one of them, every one of them had the AirPods in. Not one of them looked her in the eye. Not one of them actually said hello. Not one of them actually went, oh hello, what's your name?
Robots.
Like robots just went, that's my job. I'll sign it and I'll away go. And like the club posted it thinking it was a good thing, and I guess in a way it was good. There's no context to it. Maybe that girl had a full day with them in training the day before. Like you don't know. But just the video just didn't look good. It just that perception of footballers and some people with like money in general, they get that stigma where they're not interested in people anymore, or if you're a pay grade below them, you don't look at them the same.
But
if you're a caretaker of the building, I don't treat you the same.
As you say as well, but she could have been at the club the day before.
She could have been, and that's
they could have spent an hour interacting with her, and that's a full-time athlete,
exactly.
highest
So it's
paid. It's just you don't know the whole story.
And that's why I use that example with Devil's Advocate as well, that you don't know the full story. But just to back up of how I want to be known is that I never want to be that guy. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we are genuinely in a rush. But I never want to be that guy that just does his job and goes. Like, I love that eye contact. I love that wee signal. Oh, hello, what's your name? And just give that person a wee bit of value, even in the midst of like your busiest day. Yeah. So, long-winded answer, but that's mine.
That's solid. That is a solid answer, mate. Like, fair play to you.
So, what do you want to be known for? Just be simple as one word. Don't feel the need to.
Want to go yourself? Or?
Do you know what you want to say? Probably not.
You're getting sprung on me.
This one is sprung on them, so be easy on them. And I want people to have a think themselves who's listening as well. I want people to think about that.
I think I've kind of a few things in my head, and one of them might come out a bit rude. Sorry, it will come out rude. Don't mean it rude, but I mean it. Mm-hmm. First one would be I want to be known as a polite lad. You know, I'd never put anything on. You know, I pick up the phone at work and hello. If I figure out it's a man, I'd be yes sir, no sir. I don't put that on as an act. Mm-hmm. If I meet somebody, I'd be hello sir, how are you getting on? Being kind to people. I would like to meet my dad's friend at an event, and then him go back, and 3 months later him see my dad and go, Jacob's Row, senior sock, lovely young lad. Like Sally. Yeah, like Sally, like that. I'd also like to be known as a very good businessman. On top of that comes money. I'd also like to be known as the guy that drives a really cool car. Not for people to go, wow, look at his car, but simply because I am so into cars. Maybe not that people have to know that I've got a car, but if I've got a car that I can doter down the port on a Sunday and like a Magnum, like that would be my dream. Yeah. Being a businessman that owns a brilliant business, who has a sturdy family and a dog, and their family's all healthy, and at least that millionaire there is not a prick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can walk into a shop when you're filling up your Lambo and
It's still
be,
nice.
all right, mate, how you getting on? How's your day? Which is always something I would do as well when I go into the shop.
Yeah.
I would always, I do a wild pile of judging actually, of not normal people, of other people.
Yeah.
Standing in a queue at a shop.
people.
Normal
I do a
people.
lot of judging of normal people.
Peasants.
Off my shoe.
That's a chicken that you stumped on last week. I do a lot of like kind of people watching when I'm standing in a shop. I hate when somebody walks up to somebody in a shop and it's like, have you got any fuel? Nah.
Yeah.
And it's just car to crash. You can just beep straight out the door. Hate that. Set your stuff down. How you getting on? How's your day? You all right? Oh, I'm doing good. How are you? Good day. Hey, good day. Well, or not great day, but we're getting there. We'll be home soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be polite. Don't be a prat.
Big nice, yeah.
You know, that's probably my three.
Nice.
Yeah,
Great answer.
probably my three.
Good answer. Stevie,
what
what do
colour's
you...
your Lambo going to be? What colour's your Bugatti? Yellow Lambo, like James Blake's. He had one of the older ones, beautiful. He got a lot of stick for driving that. Do you follow James Blake at all?
Don't seen him in Belfast over there, was there?
He's cool.
He's a good guy. Like,
That G63 is cool.
he's driving an R8 now.
The blue one, is it?
No, a white one. That's my dream car. So,
I was in one at the weekend.
where are you? What year? What?
Easter at the port.
My friend Mark
Car chat now.
I'd be a petrol head too. Like, just don't have my favourite whip yet.
Not
I
yet.
met Mark Easton as
Getting
well
there.
in 2016.
Nice.
Just lovely. Like,
From 16 onwards, they are beautiful. Like,
He-
16, 18 is probably the ones I would go for.
As is lovely.
Before Stevie gives me his answer, what was the worst car you seen at Easter at the port?
Oh, plenty. Go. You'll have seen me in TikTok already.
What was the worst car at Easter Sunday in the port?
There's like a grey Volkswagen Caddy floating about, but it keeps breaking down. People are all talking about it. I don't know who drives it.
I didn't
but
see it.
I've heard a lot of people say that it's a complete scrap. Was it a scrapper they were saying? Or?
It's in the car to get stuck.
Only joking.
No, it is a heap. It is a heap, but it does me the best. No, bad one.
That's somebody's dream car sitting out there, man, when you think about it. Like,
Yep.
Van. It's a van, bro. I would say there was a fair few Duggars on it, sir. There was.
what's that mean for
That's
the...
ball of money for
Really,
not
This
pretty.
will be
not
aired in
pretty.
Belfast and County Down as well. So
That's ball of money for not pretty.
I haven't said that word in ages.
I haven't
but
heard it
I
in
would
ages.
say
Holy shit.
scrap heaps.
There was some pink. I think it was I don't even know what it was. Was it like a Jeep? A Jeep with like big puppy paws up the side of it. It was rough. I've seen a few D turbos that were just like completely and utterly not.
306s?
Just off the limiter the whole. Oh,
I didn't know they still existed.
Yeah, there's a few Lexuses, and one of them was drove by Mark Easton, and it was literally we put a sticker on the front of it, and it's this car is shit. It was a heap of dumb, but Lexuses. I'd love a Lexus. I'd love a red Lexus, but that's
Until next year, next Easter.
just to
We'll
death.
see where we're at next Easter.
But no, there's
Jeez, where do you think we'll be next Easter, boys? I think we'll be sitting here.
We will. We'll
I think
be an
New-
episode
in New York doing a podcast with Tom Smith
Hopefully
and
touring.
Stephen Bartlett.
That'll be great. Turin would be great.
I'd love to be here. You know, this is great crack.
I know.
This is-
It drives you out the door. Like if I wasn't here, then I'd be lying feeling sorry for myself.
Exactly.
Dosed up with hay fever.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't.
Stevie, finishes off, mate. What do you want to be known for?
Run it by me again.
What do you want to be known for?
Worst car in the port.
Worst. D turbo, pink paws up the side of it. What do I want to be known for?
Can be as
These
simple
these
as-
are getting deeper, man. No heads up on it either.
That's my own made up question too.
It's good, good. I don't know, man. I've just always, quite similar to yourself, I've always tried to be the good guy, try to always bring a bit of joy. I'd obviously like to be, just to even Shay touched on it, or, you know, like successful. I think I've always worked hard. I want to be a successful person, but I definitely don't want to turn into those people that you were describing that go up and, you know, just don't speak to people and just ignore people and are quite rude.
People that are just normal, like people that are driving. Not that you can know by somebody's car, but you can tell by somebody's clothes 9 times out of 10 if they're
Doing well.
Doing well. These are people just out of council estates that I've seen walk across the road from a council estate into a shop and just speak rudely. There's no.
But again, I always think of that come at it from the other angle. You never know what sort of day somebody's having, especially at the minute with cost of living and everybody's struggling. And like as I say, I've moved up to Belfast, and I'm actually up around North Belfast a lot more now as well. And you do see a lot of people struggling in their day to day as well. So I think you just have to take that with a pinch of salt sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great answer and great way to finish off the pod. That's free of 51 questions.
Yeah.
Well, but it's actually technically 2 out of 51 because that one's one I made up. So we've got 49 to go, boys. So we've got plenty of cards to get through. We're going to digest a lot of them on the lads episodes especially. And then we're going to probably ask the guests that we have coming up as well, maybe 1 or 2, just to integrate into obviously what they do too. So
they're good to go out and ask the public as well. You should go out and ask the public.
Exactly. So I'm actually going to be following this up as well. So there's going to be public interviews of me asking the questions that we have on that week on the podcast. So they're all sort of going to link in together, and we want to get your responses as well. We want you to listen to this.
And then
Get
Stephen
value from
Bartlett, 51. You're coming on. Son. You're
Episode
coming on.
51.
Episode
Steve Bartlett
51,
would be
Steve Bartlett.
that would be immense if we get 51 episodes done.
Having a dragon on the show, like a dragon coming to Ballymena.
At the class. So yes, subscribe, like the video if you like the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.